Hi, class. I'm Mrs. Morrison,
I'm Miss Guzman.
and today we're going to be talking about another way to multiply, and it's called the lattice method.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and describe what the lattice method is. The lattice method is just another visual approach to solving multiplication problems. It involves the separation of digits by using columns and rows, making it easier for us to regroup. So it's a good method for our visual learners, for you visual learners.
Yes, thank you for the explanation. And so this aligns with our content standard. It's the California Content State Standard, level 4. It's for grade 4. And it says multiply a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1 digit whole number and multiply two-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and the properties of operations. Illustrate and explain the calculation by using equations, rectangular arrays, and or area models.
Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and describe the objective. So students will be able to solve multiplication problems using various non-standard strategies while collaborating with peers to create math posters.
All right, so moving in to our first example here, we want to explain how to actually do the lattice method. So before we get into the lattice method, we want to do a little bit of review. We're going to look at the standard method and we're going to go through it because the standard method is what most people are familiar with, okay? And that's the way that we normally do our multiplication. But again, the lattice method is multiplication, but it's going to be using different ways to solve and get the same answer. So let's go ahead and solve using the standard way. So 6 times 8 is 48. We put our 8 down here. We carry our 4, and now we multiply. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. We can write that right down here. Cross this place value out, and add our 0. And now we multiply again. 4 times 6 is 24. Keep your 4, carry the 2, and don't get confused, we're no longer using that 4 here. So now we say 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And now we add. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 1 plus 6 is 7. So it looks here that 16 times 48 is going to be 768. And now we're going to go ahead and look at how to solve it using the lattice method, which should, of course, give us the same answer.
Okay, moving to our first step. The first step we're going to do is set up our lattice box. So they're separated into tens and ones, like shown in the visual. So the first thing we're going to do is place the number 16 on top, just horizontally. And then we're going to place the number 48 on the side vertically, like we have it right there in the visual.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply each box. So let's start with 6 and 4. It's a good idea to start here in the ones place just to keep our mind set on where place value is. So when something noteworthy is when we're looking at this box here, there's a red line that diagonally divides this box. The right side, where this 4 is going to be the ones place. The left side, where the 2 is going to be the tens place. So if you notice, 6 times 4 is 24. So again, like we just mentioned, 20, the 2, is in the tens and the 4 is in the ones. And we're going to go ahead and do that for all of them. So 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 8 is 48. And then we move on to this one. 1 times 4 is 4. Notice how we put a 0 in the tens place. 0 is our placeholder there. And then 1 times 8 is 8. Again, we put a 0 in the tens place.
Awesome. Now the third final step is following the diagonals of the lattice, so those red lines, add the numbers and bring them down. So those are what those arrows are for. So we're going to add those numbers. So in this first column, we have 8. So we're just going to bring down the 8. On the second column, we have 4, 4 and 8. So we're going to add 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 8 is 16. So notice how we just have a 6 right here. we're going to carry the 1 and put it right next to the 2. That's going to help us when we add on the next column. So 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, which is why we have put the 7 right here. And then we just bring down the 0. So our final answer is 768.
Which is the same answer that we got when we did the standard method. So again, the lattice method is the same exact multiplication in a different way. Okay, so now that we learned how to do the lattice method, we're going to go ahead and try again. So here we go. Here we have a lattice problem, or lattice method problem. It's 12 times 45. Miss Guzman, what is the first thing that we should do here?
Right, we should write our numbers on their columns, our horizontal numbers. So we're going to put 12 right here, and the 45 in the vertical space right here.
Perfect. All right. And then we can multiply our squares. So starting here in the ones, we're going to do 2 times 4, and that gives us 8. So 8 goes here, and our 0 goes here. 2 times 5 is 10. A 1 and a 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 goes in the ones. 0 goes in the tens. And 1 times 5 again is 5. So same thing again. 5 in the ones place, 0 in the tens place.
Oh, I think we meant to multiply 1 and 4. Miss Morrison.
Oh, you know, it's okay. We all make mistakes. And thank you for catching that. I was excited to do my multiplication and I just messed it up a little bit. Let's try that again. Good catch, though. There we go.
Awesome. All right, now we're ready to add. Our final steps. We're going to add, remember, bring down all those numbers. So we're just going to bring down on that first column, we're going to bring down the 0. All right, now we're going to add 5 plus 1, which is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. So we're going to put down the 4. And what are we going to do with the 1?
We're going to carry the 1 over to the next column.
Carry the 1. Awesome. So we're going to add 4 plus 1, which is 5. And that is how we get the answer of 540. So that is our answer, students. Let me type that right here.
Perfect. Our answer is 540. Awesome. So now that we learned how to do it and went through the steps, and then now that we tried another one with just plain numbers, let's do another one. Oh, whoops. This time, though, we're going to do a word problem.
A fun word problem. That's okay. It's going to be a little challenging. Miss Morrison, would you like me to read the word problem?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let me go ahead and read the word problem. Then we can pull up some keywords. So, a grocery store sold 37 boxes of oranges in one weekend. There were 56 oranges in each box. What is the total number of oranges the grocery store sold? So, we can highlight what numbers are going to be multiplied. Ms. Morrison, would you like to do that?
Sure. So, looking at this, word problems can be confusing sometimes because there's just so many words and they're asking you to solve math with so many words. But that can be something to hold you back. You have to just identify what we're looking for. Oh, let me go ahead and make my marker a little bit bigger. There we go. Uh-oh, that's not that's not the highlighter. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So we have our 37 boxes of oranges, and we don't really need to highlight oranges. Don't highlight unnecessary things. We have 37 boxes, and then we have 56 in each oranges in each box. So our numbers here are going to be 37 and 56. So those are the numbers that we're going to be pulling out.
Awesome. Okay, so I can go ahead and jump into the next step, or actually our first step. Let's go. All right, 37. So we're going to put 37 right here on top. Remember, we're going to put those in where they're supposed to be in their place values. So 56 on the vertical. Okay.
Perfect. And starting with the ones, 5 times 7 is
35.
perfect. 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, and then 3 times 5,
15,
and then 3 times 6,
18.
18. Perfect. All right.
All right, now to the fun part, we're going to add. So we're just going to bring down the numbers. So the first column, the easiest column, just bring out that one digit. We're going to bring that 2. And then we're going to add 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 8 is 17. So I'm going to put the ones right here, ones place, sorry, and then carry the 1 over here. Then we're going to add again. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Put the 0 right here, and then carry the 1 more time. And then we're going to add 1 plus 1, and that would be 2. So our final answer should be 2,702 oranges sold at the grocery store. That is our final answer.
Perfect. All right, so now that we've gone through what the standard method looks like, how to do the lattice method, and then we had practice with the lattice method, now we want our class to try it too.
Yes, so we're going to provide posters for you guys so you guys can complete with your groups and provide you with word problems to solve on your own. And we're going to be with there every step of the way so you guys can solve those problems. But yeah, that is the lattice method.
And if you,
Lattice method.
oh,
Sorry.
no problem. And if you need to remember how to do a certain step through the lattice process, you of course can always come back to this video and watch it again. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you in class.